Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today's an awesome day, right? XRP on sale. Most coins are as well. Bounced off its macro point of control here at 215, 216. Thank you again to all the wonderful feedback I got from my YouTube short yesterday. That did highlight some of those dollar cost average targets. 215 is the primary, 201, 202 is that secondary, and worst case would be 190. We'll talk about that and a few other important factors here too. So make sure you hit the like button below if you could, please. Helps grow the channel, gets this in front of more people, and hopefully gets less views for those moon boys that just tell you everything's going to the stinking moon. Because the truth is, XRP, while it's a good coin, it's wonderful and all that stuff, it still respects Bitcoin to an extent, and it metaphorically going to the moon or not is still going to be subject to manipulation and market movements, which is what we look at here. So like the video, take a look here at liquidation. We can recognize 210 is that lower area of liquidation that got mostly swept. So it basically hit like 211, 212, but we have a little bit left there, basically implying any late longs got just absolutely destroyed. So that's another reason why you use low leverage when you trade. Okay, I recommend that for my community. For example, we took some low leverage trades recently. Caspa 5x leverage trade, we claimed about 31%. Solana 5x leverage trade again, 26%, right? 3 days to 1 day, no matter what, it's still profit, and you're getting eaten up a lot less on fees too with lower liquidation. Lower leverage, i.e. liquidation event is much further away, okay? So it's a lower risk scenario. So I just like to kind of recommend that and throw that out there because most people unfortunately are getting, eaten up on not only fees, but just primarily just, being an emotional, they're following people that are emotionally driven and using high leverage. They're basically gambling. That's not what you do with trading if you want to be any level of successful. All right. Having said that, we can see liquidation delta to the downside, basically more shorts than longs in the market right now at 600 million. That implies there's more selling pressure. What do? Do you buy against that, or do you go with the grind? You're more likely to find success if you go down with the coin or the price, or you wait for a better price to get in, and once that shifts. We want to see that shift in momentum first. But right now, you're basically hiking uphill versus going downhill, or you're trying to drive against traffic. It's just not a good idea, right? We're in a descending trend. Until that breaks, we want to make sure that we take responsible trades, right? Not to say you can't still scalp, but it's important to recognize that you have inherently more risk when you're trying to take a long right now versus a short. All that being said, we can see liquidation delta is about 223 here. Open interest rather. That's the heaviest amount of volume locally. That's right there at the local support. What do you know? That's going to be a new resistance. The price comes back up to that level, we'll see exit liquidity at 223. So I'd say 223 is the tentative resistance for us, okay? Now we take a look here at this descending trend. We're obviously working a descending trend line. And what I'll do is I'll clean up the charts, obviously, folks. This is not going to be clean. I'm not going to try to take up all your time to do that. I'd much rather take up your time educating you and best practice versus trying to convince you that this coin's going to go to the moon because I'm emotionally driven by it, right? All that said, check out our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I actually have playout charts. I provide shorts on these coins, and it's all available there for you if you want. All right. Last but not least, too, take advantage of this exclusive deposit reward bonus here from Bitunix. The next 2 weeks, you get some really easy money there. This is mainly for my community members already using this, but if you do use my link to register, you'll have an opportunity to be able to obviously benefit from that too if you want. They're an awesome exchange, though. No KYC or VPN required. All that said, keep in mind, even though XRP is more likely to continue lower, we can see 214 is that local support range based on open interest or just that point of control. It's effectively the same thing. So good news is we're in this major support range between 215 and 220 as a rough estimate, and that's a very, very good thing, all right? We're also above a descending trend line. We're over all moving averages. This is still a very good situation. So my recommendation to not buy this dip earlier is mostly based on leverage. Okay, it doesn't mean you can't add to your spot bag. I hope you do, and you can. I'm in a pretty good amount of. I got in pretty good in the 190s to $2 range myself. I feel good about that. If it continues lower, I'll keep buying the dips, but I'm not going to just keep forcing high leverage longs at that point. Right, that's the whole concept there. Anyways, the daily time frame here, we are kind of breaking bearish, but it's not official by any stretch. What I mean by that is short term, we can see RSI tapering off, money flow index is right there with it. That's not bad nor good. It just implies that with us testing this moving average, we're kind of shifting momentum here and potentially going lower. Now, when we look at the 4-hour time frame, this does imply that you shouldn't take a long. This is a higher risk situation based on the simple fact that you're under 50 on the RSI, we're under our moving average, our money flow index is under 30. That's generally unfavorable. That implies more money is flowing away from this coin than going into it. It's pretty indicative when you see this here with liquidation delta. That's pretty obvious to me, but as a reinforcement on the charts, you can see that as well with the money flow index pulling back. MACD is diverging too, generally unfavorable to take a long right now. Ichimoku cloud is going to confirm that we are officially below the cloud, which basically just implies that you don't take a long. I don't know, how many times can I say don't take a long in a video? Probably a lot. I could say it a lot more. It's for your own good though, right? Because most people hear what they want to hear in a video. They'll fast forward to the end and say, oh wait, he said go long. No. I said go long only if you're an emotional idiot. That's the difference, right? So try not to be that person. Don't shortchange yourself by hearing what you want to hear. The truth is this is not a phenomenal situation. Until we break this short-term descending trend, we're going to have to presume it's going down. That's the concept. The main reason I feel that way is because Bitcoin's working on this way down here. It just bearishly backtested its local point of control and its ascending trend line, which was a rising wedge breakdown, by the way, folks. So yeah, I've been talking about this for quite a while. It's important that you listen. And I think at this point, XRP is going to follow suit. And the market makers know there's a bunch of emotional people buying these dips. And they're just going to keep on pushing it down. So having said that, $215 cost average target. $2 to 205, that lower support range, also a good consideration. Between now and then, maybe be patient and wait to see what happens with Bitcoin. What do you know? Patience is paramount, folks. Very important. Hope you learned something today, though. If you could do me a quick favor, always hit that like button, comment below. Do yourself a favor, join us over with Bitunix. If you want to become a better trader and join us with our Trading Academy community or Signals group, links down below for that. We took some nice profits again for Caspa and Solana here on our shorts. We're not getting too heavy with it, folks. I mean, I probably only take about 15, 20 trades a month. It's nothing crazy, but they're good trades. We've only had 2 stops this month out of, I think, about 20 trades, if I'm not mistaken. I'll post those results here tomorrow. But either way, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks so much again for being an awesome, amazing part of my life. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care out there. Bye-bye.